CBS. This is CBS.
Good evening. In tonight's news, contract talks break off in the ongoing Noranda aluminum strike.
Some civilians are released into the custody of the Red Cross after being held hostage in a San Salvador hotel.
And the murder trial of Larry Mahoney recesses for the weekend.
Rains moving in should be gone before Thanksgiving. And baseball awards and basketball action.
Heartland News at 10 is next.
The lottery's new instant game pays off in a very, very big way.
Here is the money. Here is the money.
Money. Play big money, and you could be dancing on 2 million big ones.
I love what you do for me, Toyota. This is the theme you're going to be hearing for the 1990 models. And here at Tyler Toyota, you'll love to see what we have to offer. For example, we've got these 89 Toyota Tercels for as low as $144 a month. Or take these 89 Corollas. We've got them as low as $189 a month. Folks, you'll find us in Mount Vernon. We're Tyler Toyota. We won't be undersold. Or give us a call at 242-0656.
KFVS 12, proud to serve America's Heartland for 35 years. Mike Shane, Mary Ann Maloney, meteorologist Don McNeely, and sports director Randy Ray. Now, Heartland News at 10.
Good evening. We're watching two breaking stories tonight. There are signs the hostage situation in San Salvador is over.
But first, our top story deals with the future of nearly 1,000 steel workers at the Boot Hill's largest employer. There are indications tonight the 12-week-old strike at Noranda Aluminum could drag on through the holidays. Tonight, negotiations broke off between the steel workers and Noranda management. As one union leader put it, we're where we were weeks ago. Pete Jeffries reports.
A federal mediator from St. Louis apparently couldn't work magic with the economic terms or the language of two written contracts that crossed the table throughout the day. Even so, 950 United Steelworkers will vote on Noranda's final offer later this week. However, that package will not carry a written recommendation from the union's negotiating team.
The company people can stay out there and they can work until they fall. I don't care. But I'm not taking any more cuts.
This strike enters its 12th week on Friday. And even though it's the beginning of the Christmas holiday shopping season, union negotiators say they won't sell their members short just to get them back to work so a paycheck could roll in. The strikers here agree.
Holiday season or not, we have to stay out.
Is that hurting you and your family?
It's hurting everybody, but you know, you have to fight. Sometime in your life, you just have to fight.
Union leaders say they need to find a place to meet either Friday or Saturday morning so the rank and file can vote on the package. In Marston, Pete Jeffries, Heartland News.
The situation is still unfolding at the Sheraton Hotel in San Salvador. That's where rebel guerrillas took a group of foreigners hostage early this morning. 4 American advisors among those hostages. Well, a few hours ago, the State Department confirmed some civilians were released into the custody of the International Red Cross. Now, the State Department says some of those released are Americans, but it's still not clear how many were set free or if other hostages remain in the hands of the rebels. There are also unconfirmed reports that U.S. Army Green Berets are now holding 2 floors of the hotel, but reports say they have not fired on the rebels. El Salvador also touched off a massive protest at the federal building in San Francisco today. Police arrested 131 people who voiced anger with the American position in the war-torn country. The protesters blamed right-wing death squads loyal to the current government for the murders of 6 Jesuit priests last week.
Lawmakers are spending another late night on Capitol Hill. The Senate has approved a last-ditch effort to salvage part of the catastrophic health care program. The new bill would keep some benefits of the program but scrap the controversial surtax that financed it. The move comes hours after the House voted to scrap the program altogether. Another item standing between Congress and the holiday recess is a $14.7 billion deficit reduction bill. That measure is still held up in committee.
The murder trial of Larry Mahoney has recessed for the Thanksgiving holiday. Today, the jury heard dramatic, emotional testimony from a couple who stopped at the fiery bus crash to help. And Mahoney himself cried during part of the proceedings today. Melissa Forsythe has more.
One of Mahoney's friends told the jury he took away the keys to Mahoney's truck that night because Mahoney was drunk and shouldn't have been driving. Taylor Fox said he gave back the keys when Mahoney promised to drive straight home. But a parade of prosecution witnesses who were on the interstate that night testified about a small, dark pickup truck headed straight at them the wrong way on Interstate 71.
And I got up right behind the tractor trailer, changed lanes. There in front of me was headlights. And it just, seconds went by and I felt uneasy because the headlights didn't look like they was in the right place. So I quickly put on my brakes and moved back in behind the tractor trailer.
I said something to my wife to the effect that he doesn't get back on the other side, he's going to kill someone or whatever. And
Weeks told the jury he saw fire behind him and turned around to be confronted with the smashed and burning bus. Weeks said at first it appeared that no one was left who needed rescuing.
The man said that there was somebody still in the truck, but they couldn't get the door open. They couldn't seem to help him any.
And it was the heat. You could feel how hot it was even where I was sitting in the car. I had put the window down, and someone came up with a fire extinguisher to try to help, but it didn't do much.
Many Radcliffe families were emotional, and so for the first time was Mahoney, seemingly overcome as he heard the testimony.
And I've had no discussions with him. It just certainly bound to happen, and it happened.
The trial is in recess now for the holiday, and the prosecutor said the young survivors of the bus may begin to testify by the middle of next week.
Still to come this evening, some Carbondale students go on the air with an anti-drinking message.
And at Cape Canaveral, NASA prepares for the first nighttime launch in years.
Buy a state-of-the-art Meta copier and get one free. Sounds impossible, doesn't it? Well, you heard right. This month, Data Business Systems is offering a fantastic opportunity for you to own a personal copier absolutely free. Just purchase the top-of-the-line Meta 2585 copier at a low, low price and receive a personal Meta copier free. Buy one and get one free from Data Business Systems. Call our offices in Cape Girardeau or Marion, Illinois.
Since 1946, Jarvis Motor Company has kept thousands of customers satisfied with service after the sale. Recently, we've received Buick's Best of Class and Pontiac Service Excellence Awards to further prove our commitment to you. When you come into Jarvis Motor Company, you too will understand why we have so many satisfied customers. Whether it's a Chevrolet, Geo, Buick, or Pontiac, we'll treat you right. We're easy to find and easy to do business with at Jarvis Motor Company, Sykeston.
Rolex and your official Rolex jeweler share a commitment to quality, symbolized by the display of this crystal prism. Achievers such as golf legend Arnold Palmer wear the 18-karat gold Rolex President with confidence and pride, knowing that their timepiece sets the standard for excellence. Look for the Rolex Prism, your assurance of authenticity, only at your official Rolex jeweler.
Use your Pins revolving charge for your Rolex selection. Pins Jewelry, Cape Girardeau.
Have a very Merry Christmas, and in case you didn't hear,
the Arthur's annual Christmas sale is on. Name brand dresses and sportswear reduced 1/3 to 1/2 off. All coats now up to 1/2 off. Because of Arthur's huge buying power, they offer a lowest price guarantee on every fur you buy. Like Minx and Fox is priced at 50 to 70% off department and specialty store prices. Arthur's Christmas sale. Don't miss it.
have a very Merry, very Merry Christmas this year.
When you see news happen, call the Heartland News Hotline 24 hours a day. 1-800-333-2519. The Heartland News Hotline from KFVS 12, the Heartland's news channel.
NASA reports smooth going towards tomorrow night's scheduled launch of Space Shuttle Discovery.
The classified military mission is set to lift off sometime around 6:30. The flight will mark only the third time NASA has launched a shuttle at night. Susan Cole has more on the final preparations for the flight.
In 1983, the astronauts of the Space Shuttle Challenger became the first ever to land an orbiter at night. It was a spectacular sight as the spacecraft appeared out of the darkness shortly after midnight, following the small dots of lights below, and touching down gently on the lake bed at Andrews Air Force Base. Since then, only one other mission has ended in the dark.
And so it's a more difficult task at night. I think it's a little bit more fun, though.
Today, all shuttle commanders and pilots practice night landings in their training aircraft. When it comes to the real thing, though, many say just maneuvering the odd-shaped winged spacecraft will be a challenge.
Complicated even further at nighttime because there are less visual cues. There's less inputs coming to the brain that you can assimilate, integrate, and make the appropriate response.
But the most critical landing would be right here at Kennedy Space Center should there be an emergency, and the crew was forced to return to the launch site before it reached its proper orbit.